everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a very different video to what I've done before on my channel. This is a reaction video to the video that Purseonfleek Mel released. I think it was maybe about a month ago, maybe just over a month ago, about how she will not be shopping at Hermes Sydney. Now, I'm not really like high in the luxury community. I mean, let's be honest, I'm not like in the luxury community. I do appreciate luxury items and I am blessed enough to actually own a couple of pieces here and there. Now, when it comes to Hermes, obviously it is in a complete different league. Like, the prices of their items are just, I feel, are so high, and the whole like game of how to get a Birkin and how to get a Kelly like is just so mind-blowing to me that you can't just walk in and get a bag or like order this bag that you want. Like, you're willing to pay for it, but you just can't get it. Now, I know that this is so irrelevant, but yes, I have shopped at Hermes before. So I've only picked up a couple of things, but I guess I felt the need to show you that when I say I have shopped there and what my experience is, it is a genuine actual experience. I've actually ordered online as well from Hermes. Now, the online ordering is obviously super seamless. The items came so quick, and I believe it was a while ago, but I do believe you had to sign for it, which is always good. Now, shopping in store, I've always felt fine going to Hermes, even if I'm just like browsing. I don't really have an issue with that. Yes, in some, like, one part of me is like, I feel a little bit intimidated, especially with their new flagship store. I don't know, there's always a line and I always feel like a bit weird to go in there. But you know, at their previous store, which I had gone into a couple of times, I always felt like completely welcomed, I guess, and the experience that I've always had, purchasing or not, has always been like completely fine. I personally in Sydney have only ever had a weird experience in the Chanel like boutique, not the one in Westfield, but the one on, I think it's Castlereagh Street, like their flagship store. I think it's their flagship store, where I feel like in Chanel, regardless if you're trying to buy something or not, I feel like I was super ignored. I think I have a video like ages and ages ago on this, but yeah, Hermes I find is quite welcoming. So that side of things I have no issue with. So why am I doing this video? I came across her video and I've also watched, I feel like, pretty much every reaction video that has been put out there, and I feel like some of the comments that are being left by people are just like attacking her as a person, which I think is just so unnecessary. Like, I understand people have opinions, completely get that, but I just don't feel like it's necessary to like attack people at all. Like, I get it, like I have watched Mel Purseonfleek for a while now, and you know, she comes across as such a lovely person. I think she means the best, and some people just seem to be taking that the complete wrong way, and yet attacking someone, I feel, is not the answer, and I just think, again, it's so unnecessary. Now, obviously her story, I think like her video went for about an hour. Now, I think in total this girl has spent around like $100,000 and is basically begging to get her dream back, which I definitely have some thoughts about. Now, I don't think someone should be like just spending money in the hopes to be offered something. Now, of course, I assume she likes the things that she's buying, because if she doesn't, that's just like so crazy to me, to spend that much money and not like things just with the little bit of hope to get your dream bag. Now, I want to also put a disclaimer out there that I actually don't know what it feels like to have a dream bag. So I can't relate to like the emotions of wanting something that bad to do like things like this. So I just want to put that out there. Yes, I do have some luxury bags, some luxury items, but I just personally don't have that deep feeling inside of needing a dream bag or wanting a bag this bad. So yeah, I do assume that she is liking the items that she has purchased. I do feel for her when it comes to obviously going through so many essays. Obviously it's hard to like start from scratch with a new essay and build a relationship and all of that. Like I completely understand that. So unfortunately that's just like bad luck that she's run into with that. Now with the emails, now in the video that Mel put out, she showed several emails that she had been sending. Now, to be honest, these emails were so long. I feel like some were quite like often that she would send them, and like the list of things that she was requesting in the emails was huge. So now personally, I don't know if Hermes works better being like, do you know what? I want this Kelly in this color with this hardware, or I want like this Constance in this color, and just be more direct. But just instead of having so many options, I feel like a more like shrunken down list is less overwhelming. Like for example, I just don't know how I would feel if I was receiving those emails personally. Like, I just feel like they were a lot. Like, she went into a lot of personal things. She kept on saying, you know, it's her anniversary, it's birthdays, and like bringing up occasions as well. And I understand why someone would do that. I completely understand. But I also feel like if someone can do something for you, it's going to be regardless of an occasion. Like that shouldn't really come into it. But again, I completely understand why you would put that in there. So I just feel like the emails were super overwhelming, and I think that they were really long as well. So I just feel like that side of things was a little bit unnecessary personally. But again, I also do see her reasoning why, and like I completely see the point in why she did it. I just feel like, yeah, just a little too much. Now, on the topic of essays, I completely like understand that it's obviously better to have an essay that you like gel with and you get along and you understand each other. I honestly believe that there was just a complete miscommunication between Mel and her essay. I just feel like the constant reminder as well of I want this, I want this, I want this, was probably a little too much. And then in the end, when I think it was someone else was offered the Rose Sakura Birkin, where it all just became like too much for this essay, and she was like, I'm out, I'm done, like I'm not doing this anymore with you. And she obviously put in the complaint to their HR department. So like I do sympathize with all of this. I honestly do. What I also found a lot in the comments, which really surprised me, was people had this idea that Mel was coming across like she was completely entitled for getting this bag. So I understand if you're spending that much. Like I personally cannot even comprehend spending that much in a store to get something. But for me, watching Mel's videos and like seeing her personality and like seeing the things she says, and I don't know, I just don't get that the vibe that this girl is like coming across like entitled, that she deserves this bag. I think that as well was all just, she was super emotional in this video, and it's understandable. Like who can't sympathize or empathize with the fact that you want something so bad and it's just being like offered to someone else, and like you can't understand why. Like, you've done all the things that you're meant to do in this Hermes game, and then the end result is it gets offered to someone else. So I, like, for 1 second do not feel like Mel feels like she's entitled. I just feel like that video was just filmed when she was super emotional. She probably should have waited to film it, but then I guess it would have been a totally different video. Like, I applaud her for putting herself out there, for showing a raw version of herself in that situation, because it would be stressful and it definitely would be upsetting. So I completely get that, and honestly, I applaud her for putting herself on the internet for us to see. So I do also know that she put the video up and then I believe she took it down and then put it back up again. Last I saw of it, the comments were turned off, but I'm not too sure as of today what that is. So yeah, definitely check her video out as well if you want to see her side of the story. Now, I think one thing that people are also forgetting, so Hermes is more, there's more Hermes stores in like European countries than there is in Australia. So for example, in Sydney, like, there is one Hermes store for the whole state. Otherwise, there is, I think there might be one in Melbourne, one in Brisbane, or two in Melbourne. I don't know. But we're talking like 3 or 4 stores for a whole country. And if you're narrowing that down to the Sydney store, what is there? Like I don't know, 6 million people in New South Wales all going to the one store? Like, of course it's going to be so hard. And Sydney, like, the amount of money that is going into that store, like the whole competition, like competitive vibe in these Hermes stores in Australia is like, honestly, like, you can't compare to the rest of the world because it's just not comparable. Like, there is so much competition because there is so little stores. So I guess trying to get noticed in one of these Australian stores is much harder than European stores. And then I guess the fact that being on social media, like, if this girl Mel is seeing like people getting offered bags and she knows that people haven't shopped in Hermes for long, imagine how that feels. Like, when you've dished out that much money, like, you would just not understand. So again, I completely sympathize with that. But then there is also the other side of the story of, like, just because you're spending that much, like, doesn't mean that you will get that bag. And like, it is basically luck of the draw almost. Like, there is no guarantee at all that you can like get offered these bags. So from either side, I completely get it. Now, another thing that I saw that was brought up quite a few times by different people was the fact that because Mel has a social media preference, that maybe this is why she wasn't getting offered a bag, because possibly the Hermes like store manager or SAs have seen her social media, like her YouTube channel, and they are like, I don't want her talking about this. I don't want her to do unboxings. And so this is possibly why she hasn't been offered a bag. Now, I believe she has sold some Hermes items, and again, I guess from the store's point of view, some people would literally like never sell their items. So the Hermes whole like model, I guess, they don't want to see like things on the secondhand market. They want these Birkins and Kellys and all of that to be an exclusive thing that is so hard to get. So why, I guess in their mind, would they offer a bag to someone who could potentially sell it compared to someone who you could see holding onto it forever? Now, of course, if someone doesn't have a social media preference, they don't know. Like, they can't tell if someone's going to keep this or sell it. But this is where this whole like conspiracy theory, I guess, has come from, that someone has definitely discovered her on her platforms and they just don't want to offer her the bag. Now, of course, as well, she mentioned that the store manager has blocked her on Instagram. So take that as you will, but that to me says something, and it's like they don't want to deal with her. So, which is just insane, because from where I stand, I don't feel like this girl has done anything. Like, yeah, she sends some lengthy emails and she is definitely like been requesting items a lot, but to block a customer, like for a design house that's that like high up, I'm sorry, but customer service should be a lot better than that. And the fact that she got a call from the HR department telling her that she has been like harassing the essay and like this was all her fault, I just think, again, like there's got to be a little bit more of like customer service. I just don't agree with how that was handled. They didn't ask for her side of the story, which again, like, at least listen to what she has to say. Yeah, I just personally think that that whole way that it had been handled was so wrong customer service wise, and I really feel for her. Like, I don't think I could go back into a store where I have been treated like that, especially, I know that this should not matter, but especially when I've spent $100,000 of my own money for these items. Like, I just don't feel like I would want to be associated with that like brand at all. So I know that Mel's just saying she doesn't think she'll shop at Hermes Sydney, but me personally, I feel like I would be like, I'm not shopping like Hermes at all. Like, they would have lost me as a client. So I mean, I'll give it to her for that. She's definitely loyal to the brand, but such a bad experience. Like, that's so horrible. Now again, I am no Hermes expert. I'm just going off by what I've been told, things I've read, but it seems to be that Hermes is like a super low-key brand in a way. Like, they just want the client that's super understated. They don't want a client who posts things all over social media. So I guess going back to the fact that maybe having a social media preference and doing all these videos, these tips and tricks and like hacks for like the Hermes brand is something that they don't want. They want like the low-key, quiet client. Again, this is just what all assumptions. I'm not 100% sure at all. And I think that's it for today. I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, from what I have seen of Mel, she comes across as a really lovely person who just seems to have been totally misunderstood. And again, just reading some of the comments that have come through on not only her video before the comments had been turned off, but other reaction videos, I just don't feel like because someone puts themselves out on the internet to give their opinion, to give their advice, or to try and help someone else, it does not give anyone the right to attack them. I'm sorry, but this girl, she honestly got some like unnecessary rude comments, not just about like her as a person, but also her like appearance, and that is just beyond low and beyond unnecessary. Like, honestly, because someone puts themselves out for the world to see, it doesn't mean that people can come for them and attack them for all these different things. So I guess at the end of the day, at least keep your comments on topic. Just don't go out and attack someone for, you know, what they look like. Like, I think that is so ridiculous and so, like, just low. Like, that, no, bullying is not okay. I'm so sorry, but not acceptable. And I think that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Mel, if for whatever reason you watch this, I hope you understand I'm definitely not attacking you at all. I feel like you come across as a really lovely person that has just been super misunderstood. But again, power to you for putting yourself out there. I think that that is something definitely to be applauded, and I definitely look forward to seeing more videos from you. And guys, thank you again for watching. I will see you in my next video very, very soon. Thank you.